Good evening. Dan Fitzpatrick here, stockmarketmentor.com, and I want to look at a couple stocks this afternoon that I think have a pretty good chance of continuing to move higher. Now, we got a lot of stuff this morning, these big rallies off of Friday's lows. We could have more upside and stuff like Microsoft. It's hard to say. I just look at this. At some point, you just have to say, well, it's volatility, and just kind of leave it at that. But with respect to like Ring Central, think about this. This has really there are no implications relative to the coronavirus or any of the fallout from this, and unless, maybe some of this stuff's made in China, something like that. But the bottom line is the stuff that this company makes is not anything that's going to be hurt by the current situation. And so we look at the weekly chart here, and this stock's just been chugging along. On a daily chart, this really didn't have much of a pullback, and in fact, the big pullback was a week ago, and by the time the stock pulled back on Friday, it basically closed about flat from the prior day. Here's Thursday, here's Friday. And so this has not had much of a pullback. For a short-term trade like today or tomorrow, it sure wouldn't be my trade. But for a longer-term trade, I think it works. Now, this yellow line here, this thing, this is called an anchored VWAP. And Scott McGregor, my sidekick at Stock Market Mentor, taught our members how to use this in a webinar that we did, a VWAP masterclass. And this, I think, is a perfect setup here because the stock's above the average price based on volume since the company reported earnings back here. And if you look at the weekly chart, this kind of works too. So I think Ring Central works here. Another one that I think is good is TAL Education. This is an online Chinese education company. And one thing we know about the Chinese culture, they're kind of big on education. All right. So with all these guys having to keep their families indoors, I don't think they're in there playing Nintendo or Parcheesi. Actually, I'm not sure that they play Parcheesi over there. Maybe Mahjong, right? Anyway, they're not doing that. And so I think a company like TAL, and maybe some of the others as well, but this is the one that has my attention. This is a stock that I think can continue to do well. Now, you have to look at your time frame. I'm not sure that I would buy this, that I would wait to buy the stock on a breakout above 60. If it does break out above 60, that'd be great. I think ultimately it's going to happen. But when we look and see how the stock's consolidating here on a weekly chart, frankly, I would even, hopefully we get some kind of a pullback, a little drift lower over the next few days, and you can buy the stock closer to the 50-day moving average. However, keep something in mind. Each day that the stock drifts sideways or even runs up a little bit, the 50-day moving average also moves up. And so, as each day or week goes by, the 50-day moving average gets closer to the price, as opposed to the price getting closer to the 50-day moving average. So I think you could actually start a little position. Again, I have a hard time buying something after it's up 6.6% in one day. But if this thing pulls back at all, I think it could be a good place for you to start a position. So anyway, these are just two stocks that I think still work even after the big run-up that we've had from Friday's open until today's close. So, okay, that's it. I'll see you guys tomorrow.